This is In the Dirt with ASOTU.
I knew a sound guy once that when he would see somebody do that, he would be like, "Come here for a second," and he would right in their head. How do you like it? As if the microphone was personified. He took it that personally.
Totally. As I was flicking it, I was like,
"Is that okay?
Why am I flicking this nice Shure SMB 7?
Because you do weird things when you're on location, and we are on location.
Yes, we are.
In the dirt.
Yeah,
we are.
The one and only Glenn Lundy at his 800% Elite Retreat.
That's what's up.
And we're in Atlanta, Georgia at actually this place called iFly, where you get inside like the big plastic tube and the gigantic fans blow you up in the air like you are skydiving.
Yeah, or you could just say where you skydive and you take a nice close picture of it and you send it out and it looks like you're really skydiving, but it's much safer.
Is that how?
Super docile.
You don't
out
have
there.
to break down. You don't have to tell them how we build the plane, right? It's just the destination.
Yeah.
And destination is skydiving, baby.
Do the photos? Do they like dub in like the sky in the back and a plane in the distance, like you just jumped out of a perfectly good airplane?
You could.
Oh, but they don't.
Yeah, you know.
We're actually watching. It's kind of fun. We're actually watching live.
Oh, who's
here.
flying right now?
Someone's flying right now, and it's kind of interesting because they're kind of getting carried like a baby, but they're not because they're getting pushed down at the same time. It's a very interesting engagement.
You said interesting. I said awkward would be my word.
Yeah. Who is that?
I don't know where that guy. It looks like.
I would say, is that Kevin? Is that Stroh-Snyder?
There you go.
Well, okay, we were watching, before we came in, we were watching the people who are experienced, like the club members, and they're like literally perfectly positioned upside down. And now that I'm watching the amateur in it, I'm like, oh, that's what it looks like when you don't know what you're doing.
They do say on the sign, though, that you're going to come in like a baby, you're going to walk away Superman.
Is that what they say?
And there's like a
coming
picture
in
of
like
them
a
holding
baby.
you like a baby.
Well, I just saw
that's actually the
down.
new 800% Club slogan. It's come in like
That's
a
it.
baby, walk out like Superman.
That's
you know,
it. I like it. Jessica, make us a shirt.
That's perfect. You know, it's really interesting because that's actually a big part of what I think that you kind of do. And not that everybody kind of comes in as babies as 800% Club, because we got some super powerful operators here, but there's this kind of like, hey, you got to come in, test the waters, understand that maybe there's some things you don't know. And on the other side of it, there's opportunity that maybe you didn't even know was there on the other side. Like, walk us through how you take an operator that's probably there's some Patrick Abads here, right? Like Liza Meyer-Sporchus and others that I know that come in with super strong track records, have grown their stores, have grown organizations, and getting them to kind of like unlock that next level. What's some of that walkthrough? Yeah,
I think that every dealer, if you talk to any dealer in America, probably around the world, and ask them if there's more there in their store, every single one of them would say yes, right? They feel like there's more there, but they don't always necessarily know how do we get that extra squeeze out of the lemon. Right? I think most dealers in this country, anyway, they're good dealers, right? You don't see dealers folding or going out of business every day. We see a lot of them being acquired as of recent, right?
Willfully acquired. Not out of a fire sale.
That is correct.
But because they're like, hey,
money's good.
This is good.
Yeah, but for the most part, you have good, most dealerships do a good job. It's how do we take good and turn that to great? And that's what we try to do here in 800% Club. We had an opportunity to experience an anomaly in this industry with 800% growth out of a tiny store in a tiny town with only 9,600 people. And now we have the opportunity to show some of that awareness of, hey, if we do things, it's little tweaks, right? What I find is most dealers are one or two small tweaks away from being able to grow 800%. It's not an overhaul.
What are some of the most common tweaks?
Remodel.
Right? Because dealers are listening to this. What are the most common ones that you see?
I'll give you two.
Okay.
The first one is we got to change the way we start our day. And the reason I always start with that one is that's my
near
thing.
and dear.
Right? That's near and dear to my heart. So most dealerships, if you walk into them, we all know what it looks like at 8:30 in the morning, right? Some people are coming in a little bit late. Some people may be on time. They're talking about playing Fortnite last night. Some are a little hungover. They're figuring out what we're going to eat for breakfast. All of those things, right? Cirillo just walked in the building, right? So we're doing all of those things first thing in the morning. So what we found is really efficiencies don't start in a dealership till like 11 a.m., right? Everybody's drinking Monster Energy drinks and Red Bulls and all of that. Whereas if we can get a disciplined routine that our employees find value in and are excited to be a part of, we can start 2.5 hours earlier than the rest of the industry, and our people make better decisions the night before because they know they're going to be a part of that in the morning. So if you change the way you start your day in your business, it makes a massive impact on the bottom line. The second thing that I'll share with you guys is really our formula. It's our secret, right? This is the secret. Don't tell anyone.
Oh, no.
We won't.
Us
We're not recording.
We're not recording. We're not putting this on a podcast.
Just so we can hear
going on
ourselves
YouTube.
better.
Nothing like that.
All right, I'm going to give you guys the golden
society
secret,
stuff.
and you guys can go buy your own dealerships, and you can apply this in the dealership, and you'll be really successful. All right, that's the golden ticket, the golden formula is the 8531 formula. Okay, the 8531 formula: 8 leads equals 5 appointments equals 3 shows equals 1 sale. That is the formula. Now, the proper placement of that formula is what matters most. 1 sale per salesperson per day. Right. When we go from there, when we think the lowest denominator is 1, how do I get 1 sale per salesperson per day? Well, that's going to take 3 shows to guarantee that 1 salesperson sells 1 car that day, right? Which takes 5 appointments to guarantee 3 shows, which takes 8 leads to get 5 appointments, nationally speaking.
Yeah.
So when you go off of that simple formula, 8531, now we go, okay, well, we don't have enough leads for every salesperson to sell 1 car every day that they're at work. So what do we got to do to generate more leads? Well, maybe it's an inventory issue. Maybe it's a pricing issue. Maybe it's a vendor issue. Maybe it's your marketing. Maybe you got your money in the wrong place. Maybe you should be on Facebook instead of on the radio, right? Whatever it is, you can look at that. Once we have enough leads for everybody to sell 1 car a day every day they're at work, then we look at our conversions and we go, well, we got the leads, but we're not setting enough appointments. Maybe you need a BDC. Maybe it's a personnel issue. Maybe you need better scripts. Maybe you need to hire somebody to help, right? Whatever it is. If we've got the leads and we've got the appointments, but they're not showing, maybe we have a management issue. Maybe there's some issues around our pricing or our marketing. Maybe it's our reviews, right? So this one little simple formula, if you build to an 8531, if you can build to where you're getting 8 leads per salesperson per day, 5 appointments, 3 shows, and 1 sold, you can scale as big as you want to
You
scale.
know what's nuts about that, and what I've experienced, and I had a slightly different formula, similar kind of structure when I was in the stores, but what I recognized is that once you do that, that's still only, depending on the ecosystem and the dealership or the locale, that's still only 50 to 60% of your overall business, right? Because when you think about like what leads turn into what sales as a percentage of business. So when you get all of that right, the scale also happens on the other side as well, on showroom capacity or service, and everything kind of like expands with the breadth, right?
No doubt. And if you actually do the math on those numbers, and we've been really seen it the last couple of years, like for the most part, if you get 3 people in your store, you're going to sell more than one of them, right?
Right.
So that formula is really it's a mindset, bare bones, guaranteed. It's a guaranteed formula. We're going to get this if we build to here, and everything that you get on top comes from developing a great culture, hiring the right people, all of those things. So it doesn't have to be 1 sale per 8 leads. It could be 2, it could be 3, it could be 4 as you continue to expand all of those things around it.
There's a lot of people in this building right now, and this is the first 800 Elite event I've been to, and you get your people together 3 times a year?
We get together 3 times a year, yep.
What is the value of getting people out? Because there are lots of coaches and consultants. There are a lot of conferences that people go to, and they're all different shapes and sizes. What is the magic formula that you feel happens when you get dealers out of their store?
Well, no offense. You guys can't get mad at me. Because
Not at all.
You do a lot of what I'm about to say.
Do it. That's
that
all
you
good.
shouldn't do. So when I first stepped out, I noticed, or I shouldn't say I noticed, as a GM of a dealership, the one thing that I wanted was information, and I wanted relationships and networks and places where I can get that information, and I wanted it with speed, right? I wanted it with speed, and I wanted it like now. That's basically what I wanted. And what I noticed is my vendor partners or people that I were working with, they would come out, fly in the night before. I'd have to fly them in. I'd put them in a hotel. Then they come to the dealership. Then I feel like I gotta like hang out with them all day until 5 or 6 or 7.
You're obligated.
And then I'm like, well, they flew all this way. Now I got to take them to dinner. So then I take them to dinner, right? And then we send them out the next day. And to be honest, we probably could have done that whole thing in 2 hours.
Half an hour Zoom call, actually.
Or a half an hour Zoom call, right? To be honest. And so we built 800% Club with the GMs and the owners' time in mind. How can we serve them the information they need as fast as humanly possible? And we pretty much do all of that virtual, right? I don't step foot in most of the dealerships in our 800% Club. With that said, though, the networking piece and the human interaction piece is required in order to build, especially in 2022. If you don't have community, it's way more difficult, right? So we bring the dealers outside of their heat cases, phone calls, emails that they're getting. Sir, hold on, can I interrupt for just a second? Or people barging into their office like I did earlier.
No one ever does that. We know.
No one, specifically, no one did that today at 3 o'clock.
I'm like, meeting's over.
Headlocks, side punches, all the things came in today.
But we get them out of that environment and we get them into an environment where they can absorb, they can network, they can grow. Like what we're doing right here, yes, we're flying and doing skydiving, but if you look in the video, look in the background, what do you see? You see
everyone's
a couple dealers chatting over here.
What are you doing? What are you
over
doing?
here, right? And so everybody's picking each other's brains. So every minute is an investment, and that's why we do these retreats every 4 months. Get you out of this door, give you a ton of information, give you one specific topic to really think about and go back, and give you the network of people to make sure you can be successful.
Well, he said the word. The golden word that we believe is going to be the new buzzword, the C word. It's community.
Community. Is that this thing?
No, I don't know what that is.
That one?
I don't think that's it.
Sorry.
I don't know.
We did weird things just now.
I'm that guy.
We did a thing.
Don't push this button.
We put colorful buttons in front of Glenn Lundy, and he pressed them. Not all of them, but some of them.
Yes.
Well, and what I think is really key about this, and I'm seeing this more and more, is that these kind of like alternate 20 groups. You know, the 20 group was kind of the first push that like NADA and NCM all kind of pushed, said, hey, we got to get dealers out of their element into an ecosystem to talk amongst themselves. But a lot of times what happens in those 20 groups is you kind of get this like, here's the fit, right? It's a whole bunch of Ford dealers or it's a whole bunch of big dealers. And when you were kind of introducing everyone, you were like, there's an independent over there. There's a multi-store rooftop dealer group over there. There's a single rooftop selling 600 cars over there. And everybody is kind of like different dynamics across the country. There's no like one kind of silver bullet that someone could say, because we are a Ford store in a major metro with multi-rooftops, like there's no kind of formula.
That's right.
It's a formula outside of that you've actually brought together a community for, that's more intent on like, that's a thing that we all believe and we're going to gather around that.
Yep.
And then we're going to turn the corner.
Yeah. I mean, look just in this room right here, right? Like if we look out, like, so you got Kelly back there. Kelly's running 26 stores now. 20. He's got 23 stores. They're doing 40,000 cars a year, something like that, 35,000 cars a year. Right, so you got that. Then you
nothing much.
Yeah, nothing much. Right, so he's got all different brands. Then you got Patrick over here. He's got Toyota, and he's doing 600 cars a month. Behind him is John Paul Guidry. John Paul's got an independent store in Louisiana, doing between 80 and 100 units. Right, as a used car store. Then you got Frosty over here. He's got Roper Kia. They're doing 300 cars a month over between. He's got that and a little used car store. And then you got Aaron Lang all the way from Canada.
Let's go,
my guy over here. Oh, the Canadians have found each other.
And then we got Michael Cirillo working on a piece of pizza.
Ladies and gentlemen, that'll be the next 9 episodes of In the Dirt with ASOTU, because we just named all of the people that are coming on the podcast. Yeah. Thank you, Glenn.
Yes. There you go, right? But I believe not just in the auto industry, like if we get for real, I believe that one of the biggest problems with humanity today is that people are too siloed. They hang out with people that look like them, walk like them, talk like them, and they
think like them,
and they don't seek understanding from those. It's not seeking agreement; it's seeking understanding. So with 800% Club, we're like, let's throw out this put everybody in a siloed box model. Because to be honest, how do you learn to sell 800 cars if everybody in your 20 group selling between 50 and 150?
You don't.
Right.
You can't, right? So we like to expose our dealers to all different aspects of that, and every dealer that's a part of the group adds value because they are an expert at what they do. Yep. And so now we get a full rounded from Canada all the way down to Florida, all the way over to Cali. And to me, it's a picture of what humanity should look like, because we should be spending time together with people that don't look like us, walk like us, talk like us, think like us, seek understanding so we can all get better.
Well, there are a lot of people here that want to spend some time with you in person. They're used to seeing you on a Zoom call. We're going to let you go. Thanks for spending a few minutes. Maybe we'll grab you again toward the end of the event. But
you know where to find me.
There are a couple days ahead of us with 800 Club in full effect.
Let's go.
Glenn Lundy, thank you so much.
Appreciate you guys. I don't want to break the mics over here.
Thanks for watching this episode of In the Dirt with ASOTU. If you're new to our channel, make sure and mash that like and subscribe button. Also, check out some of these links for our other great podcasts and content.